Sophie and gameplay in the same sentence is hard to believe, but I'm saying it and I'm believing it. What's up, guys? So I don't have anything to do. It's raining outside and I decided to do another who's playing the best so far and compare it to my last top 5 players that was playing the best. 3 weeks ago I did a top 5 players playing the best, and I wanted to reevaluate that and do another top 5 who's playing the best right now to compare it to that top 5. Now, to tell you, if you haven't seen that video, if you want to see it, it's right down there. It's 3 weeks ago. My top 5 then was number 5, Natalie. That's because that's when they showed Natalie fighting her way to get back into the game. Most recently, she did not win EOE, so now she still has an opportunity. I think they're going to have one more to get back into the game, so we'll see what happens there. Number 4, I had Adam. That's an interesting one because he was playing really well. Then he started making some bad moves. Now he is just trying to stay in the game. His name is out there all the time, and he's still in the game. So Natalie's still in. Well, she's out the game, but she still has. Everybody has an opportunity to get back in the game. But number 4, Adam. Michelle was my number 3. My number 2 was Tony. Number 1 was Jeremy. Now, it's really interesting as I started my new list to see who the top 5 is and how wrong I was, and to see the newcomers coming up, and then the people like Natalie dropping off the list, Adam dropping off the list, to see who's going to come forward and start playing this game, because it's getting closer and closer to the end. So now it comes time to play the game. All right, we'll start with number 5. Number 5 was my number 1, guys, Jeremy. Jeremy is now my number 5. He's still in the top 5. He was my number 1. The reason I dropped him down to number 5 is because he's not in control of anything. We see him saying that he's in control, that he's trying to be in control, but he's not. Number 5 is pretty good. He's still playing a great game. But every time he wants to save someone or his alliance Wendell, they go home. So he's not able to strategically save them. And due to that, he drops from number 1 to number 5. Also, I think it was a big mistake him winning the first individual immunity. I have trouble saying that sometimes. But I have won individual immunity. But I think that it's a problem because he won that. Now he's a major target. They wasn't saying his name before. I guarantee you, if he loses next episode, they will start saying his name. If he wins next episode, just think of that for a second. If he wins 2 in a row, the first time he loses, he's gone. So why? I've said this before. More people has won this game by winning 0 individual immunities. Check it out. I did my research. 0 individual immunities than any number other than that. So I think it was a mistake him winning. We'll move on. Number 4. New to the list. New and upcomer, Tyson. Tyson fought his way back into the game. Tyson's doing something right because nobody is saying his name. Nobody said, oh, let's get rid of Tyson, the old schooler. Let's get rid of Tyson. It wasn't about that at Tribal. I think it wasn't about that because Tyson kept it on a down low. And we don't see that much of him scrambling because I think he didn't. I think that he did the right thing by keeping his mouth shut and and moving forward in the game the way that he has to at this point in time. So Tyson makes my final in my final five, makes number 4 as one of the best players right now that's playing in the game, having the best performance at this point in time. All right, my top 3. My number 3, also a newcomer, and that's Sophie. Sophie is the reason the window went home. Sophie is playing a great game. First I was like, okay, Sophie's kind of, she's doing some things, but she's talking a lot, but she ain't really getting that much done. Now we see her actually making a move, getting rid of Wendell. Jeremy's trying to keep Wendell. She takes control of that situation. She gets rid of a big threat in Wendell, and I think that it shows her gameplay, and I'm starting to be excited to see it, which is crazy for me to say. Sophie and gameplay in the same sentence is hard to believe, but I'm saying it, and I'm believing it. So go ahead, Sophie, do your thing. She made my number 3 on my list here. I think she's doing great. I like it. All right, number 2. Now, these are my legit top 5. So I didn't look at the other list and put some on it due to I'm doing it based on how they're playing now. I did my first top 5 on how they were playing then 3 weeks ago. Now I have, and 2 weeks from now I'll have a new list, and then it'll be totally different. Probably only be 3 weeks from now, then 5 people left, but still, I'll be closer then. I'll start doing a top 2 or a top 3. So my top 2 is Tony. Tony was my number 2 pick last time, 3 weeks ago, and Tony is my number 2 pick this time. Now this is as we're watching, because my number 1 could be going home next, but number 2 is Tony. As we're watching it, Tony started the game slow right off the bat on purpose. That's his strategic plan, and that's what he needed to do. Now we see somehow Tony was the biggest threat to come into this game. One of the biggest threats. And somehow we see Tony starting to look good. We see, Tony disappears for 3-4 hours at a time, making his spy shack in one episode. When Tony came back, I was so confused why they didn't say, where's Tony? Let's get rid of Tony. He's scrambling. Let's get rid of him. Let's just make this easy for everybody and get rid of that person that just disappeared for 4 hours. They didn't say that. So that made me think, how strong is Tony? How strong is he really? Like, his alliance must be tight at that point. Now it's totally different. But again, now they merge, and my prediction was Tony was going to go early. It was either Tony or Wendell. Wendell goes home. But Tony is a huge threat. My prediction was Tony's out of here. He's not. They're not even saying Tony's name still. So Tony is doing something right. And if he ends up by winning this game, if Tony ends up by being in the final 3, then they're going to take in consideration how big of a threat he was from the beginning. And I think he's going to have a super, super strong shot in winning. I can't see him going all the way to the end. He's just too big of a threat, but we're not hearing his name that much. Hardly ever. Matter of fact, never. So whatever he's doing, it's working. Okay, number 1, like I said, this list is what's going on right now. Like, if you watch this after next episode of Survivor, we're in episode 8. If you watch this on episode 9, this person may be going home. But Denise, the Queen Slayer, Denise has made the biggest move in the game so far. Everybody talks about it. Everybody's threatened by it. And it may be her downfall making that big move, which is crazy. Because nowadays, everybody wants to just sit around and not make big moves. Wendell said she's playing a winner's game. And Wendell's sitting at home right now, or sitting at EOE. So, because she's actually playing the game, she's a threat. If you play the game in Winners at War, then you get voted out. If you do any big moves and pad your resume, they want you gone. But at this point in time, if the game ended right now, you would have to give, it would be a, if the game ended right now, if they had a top 3 right now, it would be Denise, Tony, and Sophie. You can't deny that. If you think that I'm wrong, please comment below in the comment section. I would love to see what you think, because that has to be, it has to be right. So if it ended right now, you have to give Denise the win. I think she would win the game. I think she's in trouble because of that big move. They don't want you making big moves. So that's my final 5. I'm bored. It's raining. Can't go outside anyway. Can't go anywhere. So I decided to give you guys a little bit of entertainment. If you like this little stuff that I'm doing, hit that notification button so you can be notified when this happens. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. We're at 22,000 subscribers and growing fast. If you like it, like it. If you don't like it, don't like it. So I just wanted to come out here and give you a little bit of entertainment, and that's what I did. I hope you like it. I appreciate you for watching, and keep hope alive.